Just means he was locked in and he felt good today.
Swung on and hit in the air to right center and deep. Jeter's second home run in a row.
Typical Jeter fashion, hit him out to right center field.
Yankees hitting coach Kevin Long talking about Derek Jeter being locked in. We've heard it a million times. Locked in the zone. But what does it mean? And is it really easy to get there? To talk about it, we have our own Jim Kaat and Buddy Biancalana. World champion, former Royal. You were in that zone back in 1985 in the World Series, and now you're helping people get there. Tell me about 85.
Well, for some reason, everything just slowed down for me. I could barely hear the crowd. Wasn't chasing balls in the dirt. Felt like I had a lot more time to react to the ball at the plate. At shortstop, I felt very fluid and very effortless. My confidence was sky high. I wanted every ball hit to me. In fact, the bigger the situation, the more I wanted the ball, which wasn't always the case. And I hit 73 points higher than my career average in this series, played airless at shortstop, and almost won the MVP.
And then a few years later, out of the game.
18 months later, out of the major leagues, because I didn't know how to repeat it. But I always knew from that experience that it had to be repeatable. That's logic. And so I really went searching for it, and was teaching a lot of mind-body techniques throughout my coaching career. And about 6 years ago now, I met my current partner, Stephen Yellen, who was a men's singles champion down in Florida, amateur champion, the same year Chris Everett was, about 34 years ago. And Stephen had his own experience at University of Pennsylvania, also had a win over John McEnroe, and spent the next 30 years figuring out how to teach it. And now we've hooked up with a neuroscientist, Dr. Fred Travis, who has done a lot of studies on Norwegian Olympic gold medalist. And what he's learned are the processes of the mind that are taking place when any athlete in any sport is playing their best. And we're able to teach that.
And Jim, you were in that zone many times during your brilliant career.
Well, I wish I would have been in that zone more times. I did the kind of things that Buddy and Steven are teaching without really knowing what I was doing. What attracted me to their program is I'm an avid golfer. And I went through it with Steven. It's helped my golf game tremendously. But in baseball, I look back at some of the, you play games with your mind. And the key is when you're doing well, things are nice and quiet, which in today's world is hard to do. There's so many different distractions. But I could relate to what they were trying to teach, and I got really hooked on the program, and it's something that I think baseball players and organizations could really benefit from.
You know, Buddy, you go to Little League games and you hear parents yell, "Johnny, concentrate!"
Yeah.
But there's got to be some science behind it. What is it?
Well, concentration and focus and relaxation are all a byproduct of certain processes that are taking place in the mind, which we've been able to quantify with the neuroscientist. And it's all about moving information through the brain so that the motor system becomes very, very enlivened. And when that happens, it feels very quiet. There's very little activity taking place in the brain, and the fast twitch muscles in the body, the real subtle muscles, really start to take hold and become enlivened and dominate the motion. And that's what we want in motion. We want to be able to make a last split-second adjustment on a ball that's cutting in on us, or a ball that's tailing away, or a pitcher to really get out front and do what you need to do out front, as opposed to not finishing your pitches. So it's all about moving information through the brain to enliven the fast-twitch muscles.
For folks who don't play sports at an elite level or don't play at all, give us an everyday example of how this would work into everyday life.
Well, probably the best analogy I can give you is if you're walking down the street. Say you're walking down the street in New York, and you're just on a casual stroll on a Sunday night. There are not a lot of people out there, which is rare for New York. And you're walking down, and all of a sudden someone jumps out from behind a corner and scares you. All right, you're going to be jolted pretty good, okay? Then let's just say the next Sunday night I tell you, "Hey, Matt, you're going to take a walk down the street, but be careful. I think there's a chance that someone may jump out and scare you." Well, the walk's going to be a little bit different because your mind's going to be in the future, okay? You're not going to be as free and easy and as relaxed and enjoying the moment. You're going to be thinking about that guy who may jump out to scare you. And it's all about not experiencing time as it's occurring. And the same thing is true when it comes to motion. When you're over-anticipating an action, and any action before it occurs, you're distorting time. Your mind's in the future. And what that has to do in motion is that the fast-twitch muscles start to shut down. So as a hitter, if you're over-anticipating the pitch, or if a pitcher's overly anticipating the pitch as you're delivering it, okay, these fast-twitch muscles, the subtle muscles of the body, become less enlivened. The bigger muscles play a bigger part. But we want you to be right in the moment. We know the importance of being in the moment. When you're right in the moment, the fast twitch or subtle muscles become enlivened, and that's when the ball really comes out of your hand well, where your timing is just becomes really perfect.
It's almost like when you hit a ball in the hole to an infielder, he fields it and he throws, he makes a great throw. You hit it to him and he has 10 seconds to throw the ball, and he goes, oops, and he gooses it over there, and he makes a wild throw. Well, that's using the fast twitch muscles, and I found that with my motion in the mid-'70s and kind of resurrected my career.
Jim Kaat will see you tonight on MLB Network with Bob Costas, Yankees and Red Sox, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. And, buddy, stay in the zone. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Matt.